There are a lot of people who are going to lose their family members in the months and years to come. Remember, you have 4 years of this administration. Okay? Now, under the Donald Trump administration, people with green cards who have had minor incidents and have been able to walk free, it's coming back for them. Here's one story. Pay attention to the details. Welcome back to BrainFlow TV again. SouFLoTV TV. Everybody, it is your host with the most. My next channel on YouTube is called BrainFlow TV, but this is SouFLoTV TV. This is where we do our immigration updates and we do stories that you can relate to, just so everybody is aware of what is going on and that it is real. An American woman who is also a mother of 5 children has been deported from the Milwaukee area to Laos, a country that she has never set foot on in her life. Her name is Ma Yang. Ma Yang is 37 years old, and she is being held in a rooming house in Laos. That rooming house is surrounded by military guards, according to the Milwaukee Journal Centennial. She does not speak the language in Laos. She knows no one in Laos. She has no connection to Laos. She has never been to Laos in her life, says the military, and that the military is holding all her documents while she is there. 37, her 5 children are in the United States of America. How did she get into this predicament, you might ask? Very similar situation to what many Jamaicans and other Caribbean individuals have gotten themselves into. Some of you might think your case is done, everything is over, and you're good. But with Donald Trump promising big numbers and not really being able to deliver those big numbers, they've started going after what is called low-hanging fruits. The United States sent me back here to die, is what she told the outlet. The United States has sent me back here to die. I don't even know where to go. I don't even speak the language. I don't even know what to do. How do I rent? How do I buy or anything with no papers? I am a nobody right now. The 37-year-old is also without her insulin. She is diabetic. And if you know anything about diabetes and those who suffer from it and their dependence on insulin and what happens to them if they do not get the insulin in time, there you have it. And she is running out of her other medication for her high blood pressure because she suffers from high blood pressure as well. Yang was born in Thailand. That's where she was actually born, in Thailand. And she was a legal permanent resident in the United States of America, holding a green card. Came to the U.S. legally, went through proper channels, obtained a green card, and lived in the United States of America until she ran into a little problem with a couple of ounces of marijuana. And she was advised by a public defendant attorney to plead guilty to her case. So she pleaded guilty to the marijuana charges, 2 ounces of marijuana, as it related to the charges, and she served a little over 2 years in prison. I guess she got caught in a state where marijuana is not legal, or she did not have a marijuana card, and they deal harshly with marijuana charges. You know, some people will get on this video comment section and they'll be like, 2 years for 2 ounces of marijuana? Wow, I've seen people get probation. I've seen people get community service and time served. I've seen people get very minimal time, 6 months for 2 ounces. How did she end up getting 2 years? You know, it's never the same for everybody. I've seen people go to prison for, you would think they killed somebody for 2 kilos of cocaine. And then I saw others who got way less time, less than half of what that other person got in another state for the same 2 kilos of cocaine. So we're not the justice system, and we don't know how it works. And at the end of the day, a lot of the times, it's up to that judge, individual judges, how they're feeling on that day. You might get a judge today who woke up and he's angry at the world because secretly in his life, he's going through a divorce. He just found out this morning that his wife cheated on him. One of his 4 kids is not his. Paternity fraud, all kinds of stuff. And he just comes to court, keeps a smile on his face, and takes it out on whoever it is he is sentencing today. They're humans. So we can't be saying, oh, that's not true. 2 ounces of weed, she must have done something else. Her paperwork says for 2 ounces of marijuana, okay? She pled guilty to the charges, and the judge sentenced her to a little over 2 years in prison. Well, she took the plea deal because it was under a plea deal that she got 2 years. The the prosecution wanted to give her more. And she took a plea deal by the advice of her public defendant attorney, incorrectly stated that it would not affect her legal permanent residency, which it did. And after she served a little over 2 years, when she came out, her green card was revoked. Yang says that she would have taken a longer sentence to keep her legal residency. But what she does not understand is, even if you served a longer sentence, they would have taken your green card anyways. In the UK, I don't know if it's done the same in the USA, but in the United Kingdom, once you are not a citizen born and you have served up to a certain amount of time in prison, it automatically triggers an immigration process where they can apply for your deportation. I'm pretty sure it's the same in the United States of America. Now, she did not commit any crime against anybody. She wasn't robbing anybody. She did not enter the country illegally. She just had 2 ounces of marijuana. Yang said that she would have taken a longer sentence to keep her legal residency. I made a mistake, and I know that it was wrong to have the marijuana, but I served the time already for it, is what she said. Now, after her sentence, Yang was taken to an immigration and customs enforcement facility in Minnesota, away from her 5 children. While she was in Minnesota there, a new attorney was appointed to her, and her new attorney told her to sign a document that allowed her to leave, but required her to agree that a deportation order would be entered against her. So she wanted to leave Minnesota to go back to her children, and she signed the documents. Well, they entered the deportation order against her. Again, she was ill-advised by another attorney. That attorney should have told her, do not sign that document. That document says they're going to enter a deportation order and try to get you deported out of the country. But, cheap attorneys who are public defendants, who are just trying to make their numbers and pay their bills and move on to the next client. And she was desperate, trying to get back to her children. Yang's attorney believed that she would never be deported. That's what he told her. You could sign it. They're not going to deport you. It's just the formalities. They tell you to sign that anyways. And the US typically deports a small number of people to the country each year. And Laos has typically refused to accept deportees. These are all the things that the attorney said to her. The attorney said, they're not going to deport you. They only tell you to sign that stuff. And plus, Laos, they don't really take deportees. They reject deportees anyways. She's not from Laos. And only a small number of people are deported to Thailand, to your home country anyways. Well, Yang also thought that her case would be reopened because she had poor representation, she had no prior arrests or run-ins with the law, and she was a good, upstanding citizen, mother of 5. Plus, her pre-existing medical condition, high blood pressure, which she is on medication for, and also her diabetes, which she is on insulin for. She said, I just keep getting screwed in this system. In February, ICE agent asked Yang to report to their Milwaukee facility, and she thought nothing of it. She thought it was to squash a case. So she went. From there, she was detained. Then she was sent from Milwaukee to Indiana. Then she was transferred from Indiana to Chicago. And then finally, she was put on a series of flights after flight that ended up in Laos. Yang was removed from the United States of America after President Donald Trump vowed to deport millions and millions, largest the U.S. has ever seen mass deportation. And this is a part of it, grabbing the low-hanging fruits. The Trump administration has been ramping up deportation efforts, and the president has even attempted to speed up their efforts by invoking a rarely used Alien Enemies Act of 1798, resurrected an old law from 1798. Donald Trump signed an executive order on Saturday invoking this act, the Aliens Act of 1798. You can go look it up and see what it entails. That act is intended to be invoked when the country is at war, or if a foreign nation has invaded the U.S. or has issued threats that they will invade the U.S. That's what that law was for. However, Chief Judge James Boasberg issued a temporary restraining order on deportations under this wartime law on Saturday night. Today is Monday morning. The order blocks the deportation of any non-citizens who are in custody and are facing removal under the Alien Enemies Act for at least 14 days. That's 2 weeks. And after them 2 weeks and they don't do anything, the Donald Trump administration is going to be right back at it. So, I do this story not to fearmonger, but to put warnings out there. You're a green card holder. You might have had a run-in with the law. You might have had a little marijuana charge or something. You walked away. You thought it was okay. They're still on it, and they can use it against you. And also, if you have done your little time, you might have done 6 months. You might have done a year. You might have done 2 years like this lady, Yang, did. They don't care. They don't care if you have pre-existing medical conditions. They don't care if you came into the country legally, not illegally. They don't care if you have proper papers to be here. It is revocable. Green card at that is easily revocable. Be careful. Ignorance is not an excuse. And under this administration, it's going down. It's going down. Stay tuned for our other video where we talk about flights being returned to the United States of America, and we talk about those who recently got sent out to one of the worst prisons in the world. I'll catch you on the next video at SouFLoTV. Hit that subscribe button. But for those of you who hit the subscribe button, you might still not be notified because you did not hit the part of the subscribe button that says send me all notifications. So go back to the subscribe button. Hover over the subscribe button as if you're going to press it, but don't. And there will be a drop down. The drop down will say send me all notifications, send me some notifications, or notify me every now and then. Hit the one that says send me all notifications. I'll catch you on the next video. I'm out. Peace.